But here we go. KD tonight will be in the house watching as his former team raises the championship banner in the building. Lou, I'm going to start with you. What's he going to be thinking?
What's he gonna be thinking? You know what? I don't know, but if I had to guess or speculate, I'm sure there'd be a lot of mixed emotions, right? You know, he's part reason why there's so much excitement for basketball, for Oklahoma City, their great fan base. They accomplished a lot of great things along with Russ and James when they were there in their tenure, and they fell short, but they still accomplished a lot. And so him being in the building, seeing them raising that banner, a new era of guys being able to accomplish that, I'm sure there's a lot of mixed emotions. You know, it can go a lot of different ways with him, but at the end of the day, I know he has, you know, great relationships with people in that city and in the organization and things of that nature. So I don't know what he's thinking, but I'm sure his thoughts could be all over the place.
Yeah, I don't think there's like any animosity. I don't think there's any saltiness there. I think if anything, he might be slightly proud for watching the starting five thing. You know, he had mentioned that him and James were kind of upset that when the trade happened to Houston, how, you know, guys, LeBron, these guys were tweeting like, congrats to my bro, James Harden, he's going to kill it in Houston, all this stuff. And it's because they knew that they were close and they knew they were going to win a championship. And to have that core that they had with KD, James, and Russ and miss out and go to the finals the year before, then kind of break up the band, I think that kind of hurt and stung for a while. And you can tell by his comments in this new documentary. But I don't think there's any beef there with like or hard ill will with seeing that banner go up tonight. If anything, I think there's kind of a proud type feeling that, you know, he started there, well, started in Seattle, but spent the beginning of his career there.
I couldn't agree more. I think this is something that's, you know, kind of being overblown as far as expecting some type of, you know, emotional investment when it comes to watching these guys raise this banner. I think he's way past that part in his career. Obviously, he went on to, you know, win his own 2 championships and win 2 finals MVPs. So with that being said, I think he's comfortable in his skin. He's achieved the ultimate, you know, gift that's winning a championship, and, you know, I think he can sit aside and, you know, have a proud moment for the young guys that actually, you know, got a chance to win one. He can sit back and be proud of them.
And you make a great point, Boogie. Like, when you win your own championships,
That helps.
That helps a lot. That heals
If he
a
didn't
lot.
have one?
If he
And
didn't
then it
have
would
one,
hurt.
I think this would be a different
him
conversation.
having his own couple is like, you know, this would have been great, but I'm cool.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
you don't have to sit out there and watch either, so it'll be interesting to see if he
But
decides
you know
to-
good and well, Kevin Durant can't sit in the locker room.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
For
Like,
this one,
yeah,
It'd
he's gotta
be
be out
blown out
there.
of proportion for obvious
I
reasons.
think it's a bad look if he's not out there kind of watching. But at the end of the day, he's also trying to get ready for opening night on his new team,
Also
his new
true.
situation. So it's hard to judge it now. But yeah, I don't think there's any ill will.
And how long ago was that?
It's over 10 years.
Yeah, we talking about over a decade.
People don't forget.
It's just
People don't
beautifully
forget.
orchestrated the way the season opens up. Like, it's just very poetic the way it all sort of happened. But he did sign a 2-year, $90 million extension and to stay in Houston. Now, the big thing, the number here is that that's $30 million less than what he could have gotten. Okay, well, let's start with Chandler, money man.
Well, it's just great. Yeah, I'm not one to talk about, you know, being overpaid or anything like that, but it's 2 years, $90 million is a lot of money. And we're talking about a guy that is #1 all time of contracts, just shy of $600 million made on the court, not counting the boatload of bread he's made off the court. So I think at this point, clearly, it's not about money for Kevin Durant, and this was a great team, you know, nice deal, friendly deal for them. But at the end of the day, it's $45 million. It's $45 million.
I know, but
a
it's
year.
still.
It's just hard not to
million.
look at
Like-
around the league and see, okay, this guy's making this, and I'm doing this.
But he could have done that. But does this mean he wants to stay in Houston, finish in
I
Houston
think
all
so.
day?
I think
It
so.
shows what he wants. He wants to win. He wants to be there, and he believes in this group.
$30 million, though, man. That's a lot.
I wouldn't have did it.
You would have taken there. That's what I wanted.
But you know what I mean? Doesn't this show that he's willing to? He wants to be there.
No,
He believes in Udoka. He believes in this core. Like, you know what I
We're
mean?
talking about guys dealing with a different type of budget.
And he's made
Dealing with a
$600 million.
different- Yeah.
That was credit they give
I
him.
mean, you still got to credit the guy. I mean, that's a sacrificial move,
Yeah.
and you have to appreciate that, especially with everything he's done in this league. He's played at a high level since he stepped foot in it. I mean, he has every right to, you know, take every penny that's on the table. But
And you get to a point in your career, you just want to be happy. You want to be somewhere that you want to be. And it's not even about the money. It's about being joyful, going out there and competing, being around a group of guys like you want. And like you left $30 million on the table, give yourself an opportunity to win some basketball games.
Absolutely.
And he's been in this situation before where we thought Brooklyn kind of was going to be good. We thought Phoenix was going to be good. Now we think Houston's going to be good again. So he also has stuff to prove, and he at this
But
point
Houston
of his career,
is good now, so I feel like it has to get better, right?
you would think.
It
And I
has
think
to.
the only thing they were missing was that clear-cut number one option, and they got it with that man.
It's a big team, Boogie. So I'm gonna run down these their lineup right now and the heights. You got KD at 6'11", shooting guard. You got Amin Thompson, woohoo, 6'7". Jabari Smith, 6'11". Shingun, 6'11", and Steven Adams
Good
at
Lord.
6'11".
Man.
What do you think
Monstars.
about? What do you think about that?
I would hate to play against that zone defense. That's tough. That's a really tough lineup. You know, I'm all for it. I'm all for having bigs on the floor, letting them play multiple positions, playing in different spots on the floor. I think it's great for the game. I love it. I love everything about it, and I hope it's a trendsetter for the league. We can get back to playing big basketball.
I'm excited to see the impact that Kevin Durant is going to have on a young Jabari Smith, man.
Ooh.
That's what I look like. This is a great opportunity for him to have a coming out party. You got one of the best guys in your position right there as your teammate that you can look to, that you can kind of mold some pieces of your game after. I'm looking forward to seeing what impact KD has on his young career.
And as far as the point guard position, I don't know if this is something that is going to stick. I don't know if they're going to end up going to a Reed Shepherd, to a more true point guard. But
Yeah.
when you have guys like Kevin Durant, when you guys like Thompson that can bring the ball up, and when you have a center like Sengun, who's the closest thing to Jokic we have, who can get the defensive rebound and kind of push it and start to break himself, you don't really need that floor general point guard position initially.
Okay, so,
Well,
there you go.
But the good news is they have one on the
In
bench, and Reed Shepherd, the
Reed
third
Shepherd,
pick in the
absolutely.
draft, that is ready to kind of make that adjustment if they need. So I like them trying this early.
I was about to say, because in the game now, we talk about we don't have any more pure point guards and it's positionless basketball.
Yeah.
You just got to put your 5 best players on the floor then. So I think that's what Ime is doing with this lineup. I'm going to put my 5 best guys on the floor. I got a 6-man coming in and a Reed Shepherd that I know is going to be able to hold it down. If I do need to switch it out, you know, Fred VanVleet goes down. That puts them in a position to have to figure out what am I going to do at this point guard position. So I'm going to put the ball in this 6'7" guy's hands, see what he can do. Now, what's going to be interesting is if these smaller guards want to start pressuring and want to be disruptive and start using their speed against their size and their height, that may be something that he's going to have to adjust during the season. But let's see what happens tonight. If they have success with it, he got to roll.
If I'm Kevin Durant, I'm not buying into that experiment again. I went through that once in Phoenix already, playing 2-3 seasons without a point guard, and we saw how that played out for him. So if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm putting pressure on management to make sure this kid, Reed Shepherd, is ready to play from game one.
But it's a different identity of a team too. Like
But it's the same
we still have
mistake.
but you don't have a Devin Booker. You don't have a Bradley Beal. You don't have guys that need to have the basketball in order for them to be successful. This feels right. Like this is a pecking order right here. Like Kevin Durant is going to have an opportunity to be Kevin Durant in this group. He's going to play great team basketball, and I think these guys are going to benefit. You're right about that, though. It is an experiment,
Yeah.
and if you're at this part of your career, hey man, I'm done with the tricks.
Yeah.
I need something traditional, something I know I can work
Absolutely.
with.
That I know works.
It's a little worrisome when the Phoenix thing's a great point because Devin Booker was one of the best shooting guards in the league. Now you try and move to him from doing what he does best. Amin Thompson last year, he blew up. He had a great year slashing, cutting, getting out in
Yes.
transition. How is he supposed to do that when he's the one bringing the ball up, initiating the offense? So there are some concerns.
And he's your
for
best
that.
perimeter defender.
And
That
KD's
takes his
talking about
legs
he's
away.
the most athletic guy. So now you're kind of taking away his athleticism, making him that setup playmaker, man. I don't know how that can work
you
out.
know,
But
this-
also, we haven't seen that part of his game yet either.
But you know, this is just initiating the offense at this point and how the NBA is played and the style of play now. You coming down, you hitting the big at the top of the key, and now we free flowing and we're just reading and reacting and playing basketball. I don't know what responsibility he's going to have with the ball in his hands. Like, I don't expect him to be a 6 to 8 assist guy a night. If he can come down, kick it ahead, and start their early offense, and that's how they flow through, I think they'll be fine.
And I'll tell you this, defensively, poof, they're going to switch 1 through
yeah.
5.
Defensively, they're gonna be
They are
incredible.
going to be physical.
Yeah.
They're going to
Incredible.
out-rebound you. They're going to have they're way on the other end. So listen, if this works out offensively, I think they're going to try and play fast, get out. They have a lot of guys that can go ISO. And again, they have the 3rd pick in the draft, Reed Shepard, who...
No, these highlights look kind of all right.
When they have a center that can play point too, like I'm not too concerned, but they do have options. They have a deep bench. They have a little bit of everything to be able to make the adjustments if this isn't to work.
Okay,
I think it's enough talent on
You
this
do?
team to where Kevin Durant can get an MVP at 37.
Okay. Is that your vote? Is that your MVP vote for the year?
I'm
They're
going
going to
out
win
on a
enough
limb.
games,
Make it official.
I
Is
think
that
Kevin
your
Durant can win
MVP
an
vote?
MVP this season.
Damn.
I like that.
That you just threw that. Okay, we're just throwing that out there all willy-nilly. I was going to ask you if the Fred VanVleet news, when it came down, did it change where their ceiling is for you? But
Definitely a drop off, but I mean, if you know ball, if you've been keeping up, I think Reed Shepard, my UK brother, I think he's more than capable of taking on that role. He plays the game the right way. He's a pest defensively, and he just knows how to play the game. So I'm a fan of that.
There it is.
That's what this is about. All right, we found it.
Kentucky.
We found it. That UK Connect. That's what this is about.
and by the way,
There it
guys,
is.
Show love.
Gotta show love.
Yeah.
Their bench is also good. Like they have guys like Tari Easton, we haven't even mentioned. They have Clint Capella, who's been a starting center his whole career.
Forgot Clint
He's
Capella
on the
was over
bench.
there.
In his
Like,
bag.
they are stacked.
That's what I'm saying.
They
I
are
feel like this is-
long.
I don't
They are
wanna jinx it.
athletic. So they have a little bit of everything, and they are so well coached with Udoka. So this
are they
team,
over 52.5 wins good?
Yeah, look at that. That's a lot of wins. But yeah, I think so. I think they're going to
Okay.
finish, top 3 in the West, and they're going to be battling each other. And the West is so deep, but the Rockets are very good this year.
I agree.
All right, that's the official word. The Rockets are very good this year. We got to talk a little SGA. He recently spoke to GQ magazine.